world news tonight. Rivers State government flags off first round of optimized maternal, newborn and child health care week. Federal government proposes establishment of exams malpractice court tribunal. Tinubu boosts maritime security with new ships and helicopters. Plus, 20 Kano athletes die in road crash and at least 150 persons perish in Niger flood. Do you love and care about Rivers State and our peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It's a task we must accomplish. You can watch Rstv News live on YouTube at Rstv Online and Facebook at Rstv Channel 22 Online. You can subscribe and click the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. A very good evening and a warm welcome. This is the World News on Rivers State Television, double to here in Port Harcourt. My name is Iligoni Kalio. Rivers State government has reiterated its commitment in providing quality health care service to its citizenry. Sole Administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ibok Ebas, made a statement while flagging off first round of optimized maternal, newborn and child health care week 2025, organized by the Rivers State Primary Health Care Management Board in Port Harcourt. Melvin Jackson has it that various donor agencies, non-governmental bodies, including UNICEF, World Health Organization, Institute of Human Virology, among others, collaborated with the board to champion the event.
Represented by the Permanent Secretary, Rivers State Ministry of Health, Dr. Comfort Mikele Igwe, the sole administrator who emphasized the need for the sensitization, stated that provision of enabling infrastructure and healthcare facilities has been the government's top priority, which was why the 23 local government areas were equipped with state-of-the-art facilities for quality healthcare service delivery. Iba stated that to achieve this, the government has collaborated with relevant agencies to put in place modalities for people living and doing business in the state, especially pregnant women, mothers, newborn and children, to live healthy. The sole administrator charged pregnant women and mothers to leverage on the opportunity as the exercise is free of charge, advising them to protect themselves and their children from the dangers associated with stillbirth, childhood killer diseases, HIV/AIDS and other forms of ailments, noting that the rate of mortality during childbearing is alarming.
Our strategy is to make sure that education is given in our various facilities. Education for mothers, pregnant mothers, and the lactating mother on breastfeeding and personal hygiene, to make sure that there will not be risk or complication of any illness in the facility. Earlier detection is best.
In his address, the Executive Secretary, Rivers State Primary Healthcare Management Board, Professor Kinikanwo Green, thanked the state government and other donor agencies for the support, saying that the vision was to ensure that maternal mortality is brought to the barest minimum in the state. Professor Green stated that there are over 350 healthcare centers across the 23 local government areas in the state, equipped with facilities and consumables, as well as trained staff to care for health needs of mothers and children. He added that the flag off was to sensitize mothers, women and children who are most vulnerable, advising that they come for antenatal care, immunization and stop patronizing quacks to avoid mortality during childbirth.
Maternal mortality rate continues to increase, and we have carried out a lot of interventions to ensure that there is a decline in maternal mortality rate. Women should not die because of a normal duty. Women should not die because of a physiologic function. Things that should bring joy should not bring sorrow.
Donor agencies and other support bodies gave goodwill messages.
Please, mothers, please, everyone, let's all put hands together to ensure that we support this goal to reduce the barest minimum maternal and child mortality.
It helps the children to be more healthier. All these little sicknesses here and there doesn't occur to them.
There are so many people that don't know the benefit of this immunization, but if they keep it on like this, it will help the society.
The flag-off ceremony also witnessed inoculation and administration of drugs on children between age 0 to 3 months and pregnant women, community sensitization by a health educator, while traditional dances and songs added color. Melvin Jackson, Rstv News.
The federal government has proposed the establishment of a national examination malpractice court tribunal for prompt prosecution of examination infractions to serve as a deterrent to others. Minister of Education Tunji Alausa said this in Abuja while receiving a committee report on improvement of quality of examinations, affirming the recommendations of the 17-man committee headed by the Registrar, Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, Professor Ishak Loyede. The minister said it would improve the quality of examinations in the country. Alausa assured committee members that all the 12-point recommendations would be implemented, noting that the government would deploy all its machineries to fight the menace of examination malpractice. Now, President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated 3 Nigerian Navy ships, NNS Shire, NNS Faro, and NNS Ikogosi, and 3 AW-109 Trekker helicopters, 501, 502, 503 into the Nigerian Navy fleet. Tinubu, speaking at the inauguration on Saturday in Lagos, said the addition of the 3 faster patrol boats and 3 maritime surveillance helicopters affirmed the country's commitment to securing its maritime borders. Tinubu assured the Navy that the government will continue to prioritize its needs as they are the cornerstone of a secure and prosperous economy. He commended the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, for his leadership in ensuring that the Nigerian Navy had pursued fleet modernization with vigor, bridging capability gaps, and restoring pride to the force. Katsina State Government on Saturday called for the cancellation of the English language examination recently conducted by the West African Examination Council. The call followed an incident which led to the commencement of the examination several hours behind a scheduled time nationwide on Wednesday. The position of the state was announced in Katsina by the Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Hajia Zainab Musawa, during a visit to WAEC office in Katsina. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the position was based on a petition signed by the permanent secretary of the minister, Hajia Umuka Ahmed. Musawa also called on schools, parents, and the communities to exercise patience and wait for the outcome of the petition. Now, tragedy on Saturday struck as 20 members of the Kano contingent died in a fatal auto crash while returning from the just concluded National Sports Festival in Ogun State. It was gathered that the vehicle conveying the contingents was involved in a crash in Dakar Saleh town, 50 kilometers into the ancient city of Kano. The chairman of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria Kano State Chapter, Zaradin Saleh, confirmed the incident. Saleh said those who died included athletes, journalists, medical personnel, and administrators. The State Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Mustafa Kwankwaso, has also confirmed the incident in an official statement made available to newsmen in the state. This is where we must take a break, but just before we do that, do you love and care about Rivers State and our peace? So let's build and take her to greater heights. It's a task we must accomplish. You can watch Rstv News live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can as well subscribe and click the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Up ahead, U.S. Food and Drug Administration approves next generation COVID vaccine for adults above 65. And in sports, Flying Eagles face Colombia, Saudi Arabia in Under-20 World Cup. Details of this and more in just a moment.
Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube don't land with all your rich spices where you love inside one cube. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube. Spice mix exactly the way you like them. They available for seasoning cube. Try them today.
Discover today the World International Secondary School, Port Harcourt. It has a team of highly qualified teachers and sufficiently well-equipped modern science laboratories with respect to biology, chemistry, physics and other sciences. The world trains your child to be self-reliant in a competitive world with the introduction of a modern home economics laboratory, a bakery and a well-equipped introductory technology workshop. The academic environment at the World International Secondary School is simply wonderful, with the availability of such facilities as a standby electricity generator, a well-treated water borehole, a sick bay, a fully stocked library and games facilities. Your child obtains a fully rounded education at the World International Secondary School. The students are abreast of modern trends in information technology. Security is guaranteed and you are assured of the safety of your child. Bring your child to the World International Secondary School today and you will be sure you are leaving him in the hands of God-fearing people. Admission is strictly on merit. For further details, contact the admissions officer, the World International Secondary School, Kilometer 16, Port Harcourt-Aba Expressway, near LMA Junction, Port Harcourt.
Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube don't land with all your rich spices where you love inside one cube. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube. Spice mix exactly the way you like them. They available for seasoning cube. Try them today.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Good to have you on the last lap of the bulletin. The death toll from Mokwa flooding in Niger State has risen to 151, while 11 persons sustained various degrees of injuries. Public Relations Officer, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Zaini Ibrahim, in an interview, said some of the corpses were recovered in Mokwa town after the torrential rainfall, while others were recovered in Raba community near Mokwa town. He said many were still missing, citing a family of 12 where only 4 members had been accounted for as of Friday. Most of the people displaced have been camped in a primary school in Mokwa town. As Husseini warned that the toll could still rise, but bodies being swept away down the powerful Niger River. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved Moderna Next Generation COVID-19 vaccine mNEX Spike for individuals aged 65 and above. This marks the first regulatory approval since the agency tightened its vaccine authorization requirements. In addition to older adults, the vaccine has also been approved for people aged 12 to 64 who have at least one underlying health condition identified by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. According to the FDA, it plans to make MNEX spike available for the next 2025-2026 respiratory virus season. To sports now, where the Flying Eagles have been drawn in a fair first round group at this year's Under-20 World Cup alongside Colombia, Saudi Arabia and Norway. The Under-20 World Cup, to be hosted by Chile, will kick off on September 27. The Flying Eagles have finished third at the 2025 Under-20 AFCON in Egypt to qualify for Chile 2025. Nigeria has reached the championship game of the tournament twice, in 1989 and 2005. They got to the quarterfinals at the last competition in 2023 in Argentina. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? And let's build and take her to greater heights. It's a task we must accomplish. You can watch Rstv News live on YouTube at Rstv, online at Facebook, Rstv, Channel 22 online. You can as well subscribe and click the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Let's take a recap of some of the major headlines. Vice Admiral Ebok Ebas has assured Rivers people in providing quality healthcare service while flagging off a first round of optimized maternal, newborn and child healthcare week. The federal government has proposed the establishment of National Examination Malpractice Court Tribunal for prompt prosecution of examination infractions to serve as deterrent to others. President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated 3 Nigerian Navy ships and helicopters into the Nigerian Navy fleet, affirming the country's commitment to securing maritime borders. We had also reported that 20 members of the Kano contingent have died in a fatal auto crash while returning from the just concluded National Sports Festival in Ogun State, and 151 persons confirmed dead while 11 injured in Niger flood disaster. That sad report wraps up the news segment. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful evening.